Today we have a very special guest, a visionary in martial arts and how to promote martial arts throughout Vietnam and Southeast Asia. Here we have founder of Saigon Fight Factory, Warren. What is Saigon Fight Factory?
So Saigon Fight Factory is an organization where we put out fights for entertainment for people to watch. Well, not exactly fights, but more like glorified sparring matches, right? But SFF, Saigon Fight Factory, is just the arena where the fights happen. But in reality, what is SFF? It's a movement. It's basically a cult of people that grind so hard for their dreams. Basically, growing up in a country like Vietnam, whether you're a fighter, you're a street vendor, anything that you do, a barista, you're a basketball player, whatever you do, you have this warrior spirit in you that tells you not to give up and basically fight every single day to get at least one mission completed. And the message behind SFF basically just brings everyone together to remember that they're always gonna be relentless no matter what. Is that, imagine you fall down 7 times, you gotta stand up 8. Every day you wake up, you get to doing whatever you have to do as you're being always relentless.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great answer. You know, there's a shortage of courage in the world. You know what I mean? And your promotion encourages courageous people to do interesting things. And I think, like personally, I think it's wonderful that such a young person. This guy's only 19 years old. He just graduated high school, and there's few people who have the vision that this guy has. And you know, it's wonderful to see what you're doing. And you know, when I came to the first event that I came to, right, which was I think it was the 7th one, right?
Yep, SFF 7. That's right.
I mean, it's incredible. This guy's you've already had 7 events.
That's right.
Right. What gave you this idea? Like, was there an event in your life or something that kind of gave you this passion for, you know, taking risks, for you know really putting yourself out there? You know, what can you share with us?
So I started SFF out. It was just one day, like I had 2 friends that they had, you know, a little bit of conflict. Let's keep it at that. And I feel like the best way to put it is to set it in the ring where they spar and just like hash it out, right? That day I saw a lot of people came just to watch them like settle their conflict. And then just an idea just sparked in my mind and say, why not make a movement out of this, you know? Like I see fighters everywhere around the world. They're training so hard every single day, not giving up. Fighters in fight camps, they're being relentless, absolutely grinding so hard every single day just to achieve their dreams. And I feel like that really is what I'm trying to do. I'm relentless every single day, doing everything I can just to make my own promotion become like better and better every single event. The goal is to make each event better than the previous one. Right? Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, I've been to one of your events, Saigon Fight Factory 7.
Yep.
And very impressive. A lot of different people, a lot of different communities kind of came together. And the way that you presented the fights, the people who were there, was spectacular.
Yes.
You know, and I was very impressed. And a lot of my friends came, and they were very impressed. And I think everyone who was there, it's certainly... Everyone who went to that event, they're never going to forget that event for the rest of their life. They're not.
That.
I'm never going to forget it. I can tell you the exact seat, you know, I was sitting. Everyone I sat with, you know, what the weather was like. You know, it's incredible. Can you share a bit about yourself, just so we can get to know you a little bit better, Warren?
All right. So me, I'm passionate about martial arts. I started martial arts when I was 9 years old. And I got off, you know, got a little bit lazy, I won't lie. I started playing basketball because that was what's trending as a teenager back then. But I only got back to it around when I was 16 years old, so around 3 years and a half ago. And I see how much martial arts can impact an individual. When I say that, I mean, it teaches you lessons that school can't even teach you, right? It teaches you discipline, respect, how to be humble. Man, whenever I go to, like, you know, jiu-jitsu and roll with people, I would get my ass whooped. But I feel like in that case, it teaches you that there's always going to be a bigger fish around. At the same time, it teaches you respect and it teaches you discipline. These things, you know, you can't really learn. I mean, you can learn them at school, but I feel like it's best taught inside a martial arts gym. You know what I mean? You as a fighter, you know what it's like to be disciplined, respect everyone around you, and also be humble knowing that there's always going to be a bigger person out there. And it just makes you like such a better person and develops your mentality, your physical body, and everything about you. Just everything about you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's great. You know, you really learn a lot when you go in and you do, no matter what martial art is, grappling, boxing, Muay Thai, MMA, you're going to learn more about yourself, and that's what's beautiful about it. You know what I mean? So you've had 7 events, and you know, can you share a little bit about you mentioned how you want to improve each event, right? How have you made your improvements from your first event to your last one, and who are some of your key partners along the way?
So my first event, I didn't have much to work with, right? I just rented an octagon. I had like 10 people come to fight each other. Obviously, like people who are compatible to fight each other. It was just really with what I had, right? So I just made an event, and it just looked so underground, and that's the aesthetic I'm aiming for, you know? The movie Fight Club, I love it so much. That's what I want to aim at. And today, I have managed to have seats put in, make the whole venue look a lot better, you know? And also make the process of the whole event and how it's rolled out to be a lot more fluid than it used to be when I first ran the events. And also making these events, man, it's not easy, you know? I don't have a team running with me. I'm a one man on this whole organization. I gotta have like 7 different positions to do when I'm managing all the fights. I'm also telling like, oh, you're gonna fight next, all that. I'm gonna be up front, greeting the people to come in, security as well in a way. I take a lot of roles in my own organization, but I feel like this helps me a lot, you know, learn about discipline as well. Not only martial arts, but like I've said, to always stay relentless in whatever you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So your fights, you know, they're always pretty close. You know, it's not always easy to match make because what you don't want is someone to go out there and knock someone out in the first few seconds. You don't want that for a lot of reasons. Yeah, it's not interesting. You don't want injuries and things like that. So what's your process of going and matchmaking and things like that?
So, like I've said, my organization, it ain't really real fights, you know. I up the ounces and the gloves, more protection for the fighters. It's realistically just glorified sparring matches. And I set guys up with the weight classes and also with their skill set. And I always set them each fight in a way where the first one would just start, you know, hyping up the crowd. And on the last fight, so the main event, that gets everyone riled up and screaming, you know, and that's what I want. The more underground aesthetic it seems, the better, basically.
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, it's super cool, man. I mean, I'm super excited about your next event, and I know that you're expanding more and you're getting more partners and things like that. So, is there anything you'd like to share about your next event?
So for my next event, really, like I've told you before, Zach, I don't like doing things by the book. You know, that's not me. In school, I've never been the brightest in school, you know. I've never liked to sit in a class and listen. I love sitting in jiu-jitsu class and listen. That's super interesting. But I've never really liked to do things by the book. This is why SFF is so personalized throughout me. Every event has to stand out. Like, okay, I'm not saying the UFC is bad or anything. It's amazing, matter of fact. Yeah. But I want to make something that's so personalized, you know? I want something that stands out, that's different. That's why I'm aiming for this underground aesthetic, you know? Where when you walk in, you feel like you shouldn't be there, but at the same time, it's so intriguing that you want to stay because it's different.
Yeah. So if someone went, like, who can join, who can participate, who can compete in Saigon Fight Factory? Like, if someone wanted to fight, you know, what's the process?
So the process of fighting. So first off, I get to meet all the fighters and just know about their experience in fighting, right? And once again, I've said this before earlier. This isn't fighting; it's just glorified sparring matches. So nothing really gets serious, you know. It's all for entertainment for the community. And I speak to these entertainers, let's call them, and I try to set up their skill set so I could see if they're compatible or not. Obviously, first matchup being the most like the warm up of all the audience's feelings, and the last one being the audience like screaming with everything they have and really playing a big role in the organization, you know?
Yep. So like, is there an age limit? Like, can anyone do it? You know, is it just for 25 and below? I mean, what, like, who can participate, like, specifically?
So obviously, people under 18, they compete with each other, and people above 18 compete with each other, basically.
Okay. And if they want to fight, or they want like a match or something, they contact you directly. Is that correct?
I have a lot of people contact me to have a matchup made for the SFF, but at the same time, I cannot put everyone on. You know, that's just gonna be way too long.
Course. And that's with any promotion.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so I just pick out the best people I can, and I just set that up, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, awesome, man. So, you know, it's great that I really respect the way that you want to expand into other communities.
Of course.
You know, and for Saigon Superfights 5, which is going to take place on November 9th, it's a true honor to partner with you, and to have at least 3 boxing matches at this event, because we're going to bring the grappling community and boxing communities together, so that we can further expand martial arts here,
of course,
in Vietnam. Because, you know, like, we have to make, like, especially for grappling, it's hard to make grappling,
of course,
exciting to watch.
Yeah, I get you, man.
It really is.
I get you.
You know what I mean? And that's what Saigon Superfight is about: making it exciting, providing opportunities, providing monetary prizes, and expanding. Bringing the community together in one event. Absolutely. Right? So kind of building cohesion throughout Vietnam, right? And also to bring international exposure onto the Vietnam grappling community and the martial arts community as a whole, so that we might be able to get more resources.
Of course. Right?
So what opportunities do you see in our newfound partnership, which I am super excited about? I mean, this is one of the biggest things I believe that's happened in Vietnam grappling, at least from my view. What kinds of opportunities do you see in merging grappling and boxing in our events?
I mean, obviously, SFF also, it's not just boxing, it's really all types of martial arts. There could be MMA, there could be kickboxing, boxing, or even jiu-jitsu, which I've done in my last event and I've never done before. And I feel like adding more and more types of martial arts into your events really diversifies and could bring along more communities together, right? And that could just bring down to one criteria, MMA, where everyone could just be together, right?
That's a good point. It's a good point, because at your last event, because you had a jiu-jitsu match.
Yes.
Now you have jiu-jitsu folks, boxing folks, Muay Thai, and we're all there together for the first time, right? And now you bring smart people together. You bring dedicated, passionate people together who want to expand the community. A lot of new ideas are going to come, right?
Yep, that's right.
Because you and I can only come up with so many ideas. But if we bring together 100 people who are dedicated to expanding grappling, boxing, martial arts as a whole, a lot of new ideas are going to come out, and we can allocate and pool resources together, the resources that we already have, to create more opportunities for the community as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talking about that, bringing people together, the next event I'm doing is really, it has to be a culture impacting event, right? I'm bringing together sports and streets culture together. You know, you have to understand that fighting is not a sport for the rich. Well, some rich people can fight, obviously, that's what I'm saying. But most fighters around the world do not really come from rich areas. You look in Thailand, you have people that don't even go to school and all they know is fighting. They fight to survive. They fight to get a meal and to bring home, right? And look at Manny Pacquiao as an example. He came from poverty and look at where he's at today. He has succeeded. He's a legend in the sport, coming from where he came. You know, fighting for his dreams, literally. Literally. So this next event really is I want to bring streets and sports together, and it's really a cultural mix, basically. Yeah.
So for our audience watching, I mean, everyone is pretty interested. Can you share specific details, where it's going to be, type of venue, number of fights, what type of fights? Can you share these details, or is it classified?
I'll share some things. I don't want to give it all away yet, right? Make a little teaser so people can understand what it is, but I want people to come and experience themselves. I don't want to talk about it right now. Yeah. So here's the teaser. It's not going to be a traditional, combat sports event. It's going to take place on a soccer field, and that's it. That's all I'm going to give away. Okay. That's all I'm going to give away. There's going to be a bit of music. There's going to be a bit of streets. There's going to be a bit of sports. It's just a cultural mix, like I said. I'm not going to say more. If you guys want to come, if you guys want to know more, just come and see for yourselves, basically.
Okay. So we don't know the dates yet.
Not yet. You will know soon, though.
Okay.
You will know soon.
Awesome. So we've got 2 events coming up in the next 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. We got a Saigon Superfights event and a Saigon Fight Factory event, both of which Saigon Superfights and Saigon Fight Factory are kind of combining together
to be collaborating, of course,
to expand and making some super cool events. We're still coming up with ideas on how we're going to do this. We're bringing all these cool things together. I am personally super excited about this.
Yeah, I'm really stoked too.
Yeah, so stay tuned, folks. This is an inflection. 2025 is truly an inflection point for Vietnam martial arts on so many levels. We have Gods of Martial Arts becoming internationally.
Absolutely.
We have Saigon Superfights.
New concepts as well. The 3v3s that just came in. It's MMA was only present to Vietnam 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Today we have 3v3s. We have new concepts coming out. Next thing you know, maybe medieval MMA. You never know.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
never know.
Yeah. So I mean, we have international promotions. Our first MMA international promotion, Gods of Martial Arts, and we have 2 grappling international promotions, Saigon Superfights and Vietnam Grappling Invitational. Thanks to our partners at Henzo Gracie Da Nang and BJJ Hoi An. And so we have lots of momentum. The community's really coming together. We have AI, which is just stimulating the growth of and the innovation of martial arts. So, I mean, I can't imagine what 2026 has in store for us.
Of course, man.
Right?
Can't wait.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say to the community?
I want to say one thing that's very important to me, right? So, once again, the message of SFF is to always being relentless, right? You wake up every day fighting for your dreams. You wake up every day doing what you have to do, and you live life for a reason, obviously. Me personally, I do this for my family, my mother and my little sister, Yeah. And it's also it's for my dreams. I've always wanted to be inside the community of martial arts, and I feel like I'm starting to get there. And just the dream really is to create something so impactful to the community that, it will stay along, like it will stay there for a while. That's my dream. I want to create something so impactful that people won't forget. I just want to give back to the community, I want this to be a movement where anyone can join, ages from 5 all the way up to 75, like it doesn't matter who. As long as you're always being relentless, you're already part of SFF.
Awesome, Warren. Thank you so much. Saigon Superfights 5 is going to be November 9th at Ram Muay Thai. We have almost 2 months to register. Anyone who wants to participate, right now we're planning on having 9 grappling matches, 3 boxing matches. That could change, but it's not going to be much more than 12 matches because it's going to be a 2-hour event, action packed. We're going to have music there. We're going to have clothing. We're going to have lots of different stuff for you guys. If you are in the grappling community, you want to contribute, you want to be a referee, you want to be a commentator, you want to be part of it somehow, just reach out to myself, reach out to the Vietnam Grappling Podcast channel, and we're going to get you a spot. Okay? All right. Guys, see you there. Thank you for tuning in.